Hey everybody, it's Tom Foster at Foster with Marketing. Happy to be back after a little vacation, and our entire office building was shut down for a week because of an electrical problem. And we're all back in today, the day after tax day, here for a very important webinar, which is near and dear to all of our hearts and very important to the #1 search engine, Google, which is reviews. And so I have pulled in my team to talk about this because I'm sure you guys get tired of hearing me yabber on and on and on. You're not supposed to nod your head in agreement, Zach. So I have with us today Laura Johnson, who gave the presentation last week of the webinar, last month, about Google Local. And here, partnering with her today is our own Zach Stone.
Greetings, everyone.
He's relatively new to the team, but not new to SEO. He's been doing SEO for a while for the travel industry, which is very competitive, and he's told us lots of war stories there in the travel business. And we're happy to have him on the team, so thanks a lot, Zach, for joining us.
Thanks, Tom.
And, of course, Laura, as I said, Laura Johnson's been with us on the team for a while now. She's doing a great job of stitching everything together and help manage the SEO team. And my sidekick, as always, Mike Knademan here.
Good to be here once again, everybody. Good afternoon.
Mike will be doing our social media posts about the what great things that we learn about on the webinar. And, of course, any questions that you guys have, as usual, please put them in the little Q&A section there in your GoToMeeting or your GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll get those answered as soon as we can after the presentation. So with that, I think that covers the housekeeping items. So Laura and Zach, tell us about how do you create and maintain a review strategy out there on the web in today's world?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start off and tell everyone exactly why online reviews matter. You may have an understanding of why you might think they're important, but I'm here to just lay out the main qualities about having a good review strategy. So first off, you can see that reviews are very prominent in organic search results pages. As you can see, the Google Plus local page is especially prominent, with your reviews being right there in your organic listing.
But this on the left, Zach, this is what they see in a normal result page, right? And I mean, this, of course, is what a Google Local Plus review page looks like on the right. But this is what is being, and the point is that this is being integrated in the overall search, right?
Yeah, so Google can go through the entire web and find reviews from a lot of different review sites. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But basically, you can see that all these review sites are ranking very highly for search phrases about these businesses. It's not just Google Plus local reviews that matter, it's everything. Google is a big player, but they're not, or they're the biggest dog, but they're not the only dog in the park. So you have to really think about spreading your reviews across multiple sources, and Google really likes to see a really organic, natural way of having reviews show up across the web. So not putting all your eggs in one basket is really important when thinking about your reviews for Google, or your reviews across the entire web, internet. And so you can see they come from a variety of different review sites. Here we have examples from Google Plus Local, obviously the first listing, Yelp, CitySearch, and Avo. Making sure that you have a presence on these review sites is vital towards your business success. Google and other search engines are serving these reviews with organic search results because they know that consumers want this information. And they use it in their decision-making process about which business that they're going to go with. It is for this reason that search engines are now putting so much weight into local search. And Bing is pretty much the same story. As you can see, all these reviews are very prominent again. People want to know about what previous clients for you thought about the service that they received from your company. So search engines obviously think that this is very important in giving the user the best experience possible. And as you can see on the right, Bing has a sidebar, kind of like the Google Plus local, but basically they pull in a bunch of other websites' review data from various sources like Yahoo, CitySearch, Yellow Pages, and Yelp. Also, sites like Yelp, CitySearch, and Yahoo Local are on the first page of search results like we saw with Google. For doctors, you might be seeing sites like healthgrades.com, vitals.com, ratemds.com, those kind of things. So it might depend on your industry a little bit about what review sites are important to you, but there's the big main players like Yahoo, Yellow Pages, Yelp, CitySearch. Once you get into different industries, lawyers, you'll be seeing Avo and things like that, and doctors, those sites I told you about just a second ago. So you may be wondering where in the world is Google getting all this review data? So main review sites provide data feeds to search engines and other review sites. For example, CitySearch feeds review data from or to Yellow Pages, Bing, and Yahoo Local. Google can also scrape smaller review sites as well. They go out and they have these search engine spiders that find relevant information that has to do with your business and what people are saying about your business. So even if it's not on a review site, Google has the ability to go out and find review-sounding comments on news articles, blog posts, and even on your own website. So making sure that you're listening to what people are saying about your business across the web is really important, because the bottom line here is if there's text online, it sounds like a review for your business, Google and other search engines can find it. And in regards to Google Plus Local, you won't see reviews from other sites on your local page anymore, unless you haven't reached that number of reviews on the actual places page. So at first you might see reviews from cities, like reviews from other websites on your local places page, but moving forward you won't once you get that sweet spot number of reviews for Google. And they also don't count those in their review numbers anymore for places pages.
So how do you find out what's been written about you?
Use Google.
Use Google Alerts?
Yeah, use it against itself.
Right. So put in your own name and your firm name and your Google Alerts.
Totally, yeah, and use Google Alerts to find those kind of things, and then also understanding what review websites show up high for your brand name is really important, because reviews are a ranking factor for search engines. So when you get a lot of reviews or high quality reviews, they're going to help those review sites improve in positioning for your brand name. So sometimes Yelp might outrank you for your brand name because there's so many reviews for your company on that website, and Google finds reviews very interesting and thinks it helps your business grow and helps people understand what your business is about and how you treat people.
And it's real. I mean, like it's Google's answer to the link building scams that have been going on for years and years, because it's a true representation of what regular people say about you.
Yeah, can't get better than having actual people who've been to the business, understand it, and took the time to write a review because they had such a personal experience there that they understand, oh, look, these guys are doing a really great job, or they could be doing something better here. But the main thing is to not be scared of reviews, because even if you have bad reviews, there are ways to flip it and help you in the long run. I think Laura will get to that a little later on.
Everybody has bad reviews,
yeah.
And I think we talk about that. Don't be afraid. And Laura, I think you're going to get into that. But I mean, like, you don't want to have your head in the sand, yeah, and ignore it. But you also don't want to spastically respond in a negative way, which is typically what lawyers will do. I will sue you for saying that about me or whatever. And not that everybody would do that, but we know that some people have a tendency to do that.
Sometimes you can take it a little personally, and the most important thing is to not take it personally and try to communicate with the person and make things right if they didn't go well the first time.
And take it offline.
Yeah,
the worst thing that you
totally.
can do is have an online war. As we know ourselves, we engaged in this, we had this online battle a few years ago about something that is not even true that somebody was saying about us, and it still comes up on page 1 when somebody types in our name, and we've got to be you have got to be very careful about getting in online wars, because all you do is make that negative review or whatever, it just keeps it on the top of the search engines.
Yeah, totally. And a great way to keep track of how your online reviews are going is by taking those high review sites that show up for your business name, like Yelp or Yahoo or whatever it may be, Avo, and making a spreadsheet and putting down what people are saying about not just your business but your name. People are going to be talking about you. You're representing your firm, and there are going to be other attorneys there that are representing your firm, and people are going to be talking about you individually, not just the firm name. So Googling your name along with your firm name is really important, and tracking that in a spreadsheet or something along those lines to know, hey, look, we have 5 reviews in Yelp. 3 people are saying good things about us. The other 2 are not so great. Well, what can we do to bring that person in and talk to them and understand why they had a bad experience, and fix it for the future so that you don't have people saying those kinds of things about you. And then also, people want to see that you're people too, and you respond well when people have an issue. And just a simple, hey, I'm sorry you feel that way. Can I get in touch with you to better understand what your qualms were with our business?
Yeah, I mean, like, negative reviews are a part of any business's reality, and Zach's point is that you just want to respond to it. Here's an example. I mean, I just came back from Vegas last week, and the flight was delayed because of weather.
Yeah.
It's not anybody's fault, but people are on the airplane, like, posting about U.S. Air on the plane, about the whole experience. And I'm like, I don't want to be on this plane any longer than you do, but I'd rather that they land safely. And, we're going around the airport ready to land safely than just, get me down because my bags are stuck. I mean, but the point is that people will get on there and review you regardless, and it's up to you as a business owner to respond, not, negatively or with, frustration, but to say, hey, sorry you had such a horrible experience, give us another chance. Sometimes you can't fix it. But it's better to at least show a response that we can't help everybody. We can't do it all perfectly. Yours was a unique situation. We're sorry that we weren't able to do it. But, and other people seeing that.
Yeah, because they wanted a personal relationship. And Laura, again, probably will get into it a little bit more.
Are we still on your thunder, Laura?
I mean, basically that was pretty much everything I was going to cover. So
we're done early today with our webinar. Thank you very much. No, okay, well then let's
yeah, swing away, Laura.
No, that was great. All of your points are right on, and bad reviews are inevitable. It's showing that accountability and owning up to it, apologizing, and setting things right, because reviews are out there for your future clients, and those are the people that are reading these reviews, and it's going to be important that you're speaking to them. And to keep that in mind when you're responding. And also, they're such a core component of the quality client service. It should really be, or a good review strategy should really be part of your business's process as far as quality assurance and customer service, and checking in on those clients that you've worked with so closely and making sure that they had a good experience, or if not, reconciling that to the best of your ability, and it'll help you address customer concerns and complaints when you're asking for these reviews, because if you're not asking, sometimes they're not going to tell you, and that kind of feedback is always helpful for improving your business overall.
Just to take this off sidebar again, Mike and I were just in Vegas at this Legal Marketing Association, which was a giant event conference for big firms. It's more B2B, big firms. And the keynote speaker was David Wilkins of Harvard Law School, and I thought he did a great job, right, Mike?
He did a fantastic job. He's really on top of the way the legal profession has evolved from what everybody was experiencing in the 70s and 80s to where we are today, and how lawyers really have to start embracing the fact that they're not in just a profession anymore. They're really starting to run a business, and they need to act as they are.
And, you know, his thing is, I mean, it was really a talk for the big firms, and the point is that the big firms are struggling with this, having to behave differently and having to acknowledge reviews and all that stuff. And they are so far, they're not caught up to where you guys are yet, but they're catching up. The point is you guys can make these changes quickly, and these giant law firms with 400, 500 lawyers cannot. But you guys can, and it's a problem for everybody. And I think one of the points, I was looking for it in your notes here, about that that even he said on the stage, you know, lawyers still think that it is their peer reviews that are most important, what other lawyers say about them, but that is not what people are paying attention to. So while all lawyers are still paying attention to, you know, $1 Million Advocates Forum and everything else that lawyers do that lawyers appreciate, that's what consumers are not paying attention to. I mean, your future clients are are reviewing you, and even if they find a search, even if they do, you know, San Diego personal injury lawyer or whatever, and they get to your page, that doesn't mean that they're hiring you because of that keyword. They're going to do another search for your brand and your name in order to determine which law firm or lawyer they want to talk to. That's what we do now, right? And it's very hard for older law firms or lawyers to embrace that the game has changed. But it is still very much a referral business, but it is more transparent than it's ever been. So if you mess something up, it's going to be out there. You can't, like, gloss over it. You need to address it and respond to it. Right, Zach?
Yeah.
That's the point, really.
It's across the board for all businesses. People are just going to look at reviews because think about when you want to go to a restaurant. You might search family restaurant Arlington, Virginia, or Italian restaurant Arlington, Virginia, but that's not where it stops. You don't pick up the phone and call the first one. You're going to check out the reviews about the service and the food quality there. So it happens at all levels of the service industry. So it's not just attorneys and lawyers and doctors. It's all businesses. It's all out there. Google knows a lot more than we'd like them to. So making sure that you know what Google is telling people is really important.
And I'm sure that everybody on this call does that too. They go out there and check out, you know, if a dryer repairman or electrician or whatever. And why would you think anything different of your business? A very service-oriented business. Okay, let's keep going, Laura.
Well, and as we mentioned earlier, bad reviews are, you know, they're inevitable. They're going to happen. So what can you do to make them work in your favor? And we've talked about this, and, you know, owning up to it and apologizing and remembering that you really are speaking to your future clients that are out there. Like Tom and Zach said, you know, they're Googling you and the firm, and they want to see what people are saying. So those are the people that you're speaking to when you're responding to a bad review. And also, it's a good opportunity if someone's leaving you a bad review for, you know, something that may seem unreasonable. Maybe they expected you to offer a service that you don't offer, and you didn't promise them that you would be offering that service. Well, that's an opportunity to speak directly to that, and also kind of weed out, you know, potential situations like that from future clients. They would know if they, you know, read that review or that response that, oh, well, you don't do that, so you wouldn't be the right lawyer to go to, and it would just help avoid those situations in the future. Some tips for avoiding bad reviews is to follow up with your clients immediately after service. Once the case is closed, follow up with them with whether in person, email, and ask for feedback. Also, make it easy for clients to complain to you. When you're asking for feedback, you know, positive or negative, regardless, you're going to be able to improve your business overall. And as they said earlier, if you've gotten a complaint, address it quickly, and so that it's taken care of, and that person feels, maybe they won't feel the need to go out and blast your firm on review sites because you've already handled it internally.
That's a great point, Laura. I mean, like, nip it in the bud. I mean, a lot of people on this call are plaintiff attorneys that have worked with a client for months and months, if not years. You know what kind of relationship that you have. You know if it's going to go south or if it's going to be a positive one. And simply by heading them off at the pass, and I know it wasn't all great. It wasn't exactly what you thought, but what could we do better? And just opening yourself up will let them kind of vent on you instead of going to Google and venting on Google or Avvo, which is a lot harder to deal with than just, even if you have to mute the telephone and just like deal with it, or just, even if it's not right, even if it's completely wrong, it's better than them going out there and talking bad about you.
And a great way to kind of put a third party in between you and your clients if you're worried about getting a bad review is you can use something like SurveyMonkey, which you can send to them immediately after you've dealt with their case, where it's a very simple survey that you can send out, and you can do the old grade us on a scale of 1 to 5. What did you like? What did you not like? And it's a great way to, one, harvest that data, and two, see if anybody has any recommendations that you can implement right away. Or if they leave you a really good review on that survey, you can ask them to post it directly to these various review sites.
Definitely. I like that a lot. Okay, so some things not to do with reviews, and how to go about getting them, because I know that we can get very overwhelmed with the thought of, we got to get good reviews. We got to have a ton of good reviews out there, and sometimes that'll lead people to kind of overthink the process and even cheat or try to manipulate the results by going to a company that says, oh, well, we can get you a ton of positive reviews, and don't fall for those games, because Google has a whole list, a huge list actually, of filters that they put in place for their reviews, and they can tell when things are coming in that are ingenuine, or if there's a lot at one time. If it seems unnatural or spammy, or like you've solicited these reviews, then they'll get taken down, without any question, and you won't even be alerted. You'll just have to check, and you'll say, where did that review go? Well, it's gone. And then in some situations, we're actually seeing a lot of legitimate reviews being taken down because Google just thinks that maybe they're penalizing some of their review guidelines. So we don't want to offer incentives or rewards for leaving reviews. And like I said, we don't want to trust anybody that says they can come in and clean up your bad reviews or can get you positive reviews. And Google even mentions that they don't work with any third parties that go in and clean up bad reviews, so no one would have the ability to do that. And don't take your clients' review emails or handwritten letters and enter them online for them on a review site, and don't let another company do it for you. Google wants reviews to come from first-hand experience, and will definitely take down reviews that are posted on behalf of others. And that's another thing about testimonials. We're asked sometimes, can I take these testimonials on my site and put them on Google as a review for myself? Well, there's a few guidelines there that would be penalizing. And one, you're posting on behalf of someone else. Secondly, they don't want to see reviews that are copied and pasted across sites. They don't want to see the same reviews or similar reviews on multiple sites. The whole duplicate content thing, which I know you've heard several times by now. And don't use QR codes to take people to a review site. And that's just because a lot of people aren't going to take the time to do that, and it hasn't been shown to be effective. So can avoid that. Also, don't have employees review you, and don't make your friends or family review you unless they are legitimate clients. And again, that's they want to hear about firsthand experience. They want to hear about a specific situation in which you were able to help them or not help them. That's where that's what they're looking for with these reviews. They want them to be very authentic. And don't have a laptop or a tablet in your office set up for people to do reviews there in your office, because many review sites filter these by IP address. So if they see all these reviews coming in from the same place, then that's going to trigger something, and those will be taken down. Also, don't...
Before you move on from number 6, let's elaborate on what exactly that means, because I don't think that people really understand what that means. So can you elaborate?
Sure. Well, it's basically we don't want a lot of reviews coming from one location. Google can tell from the web service in your location you're assigned an IP address, and then if that IP address is continuously coming through with new and different reviews, it's gonna look like you've set up a review kiosk in your office, and like you're soliciting those reviews.
Yeah, so even if, because I know some of you have done this before, and you may be still doing it. So if you've got, I like what you said, a review kiosk. If you have a review kiosk in your office, and you say, well, just log in as your own Gmail account. Well, that's not tricking Google because they know your IP, and so that's even worse. If you've got all these people that are logging into one machine that has one IP or IP range,
right,
and it's consistently happening, that's going to get that. And you're like, what happened to all the reviews I've added to my website, and all of a sudden they're gone? Right, Zach?
Yeah, it's pretty. I actually have a personal experience with something along these lines. My parents own a bed and breakfast on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and this summer I had about 30 friends down for a big crab feast, and everyone had a great time. And at the end of the weekend, my dad asked everyone, hey, if you could rate us online on Google or TripAdvisor or whatever it may be, that'd really help us out. So all my friends are more than happy to do that for them. But because so many people were going and reviewing their website or their business at the same time on TripAdvisor and Google, that was a tip-off to Google that these weren't natural, because they had only had one review maybe once every 2 months or so, and then all of a sudden they have 20 reviews in a weekend. It just doesn't, Google is going to pick up on those things, and you might not be trying to do anything shady, but by knowing what Google's looking for, i.e. a bunch of reviews to the same website all at once, or a bunch of reviews from the same location that's talking about the IP address again, it can look like to Google that you are trying to trick the system and pull one over on Google, and Google is not going to let you do that on.
Not anymore.
Yeah, they don't play around.
Not anymore. They're not messing around. I mean, they were gamed for years and years and years. And all these new, things that they put in, these new filters that they put in, are designed to catch people gaming. And there's no like, oh, I'm innocent. I didn't know that was wrong. Google doesn't care. Doesn't care. So you can argue all the live long day about it, and they are not listening. Yeah. So don't do it in the first place. That's the point. We're telling you not to try to game the system. Be organic and real.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 7.
Number 7, don't drive clients to only one review site. And Zach mentioned several review sites at the beginning, including Avvo and even lawyers.com for industry specific. But it's been shown that actually the quantity of reviews and also the diversity of the sites where reviews for your business are listed, that does have an impact on your local ranking. So don't just focus.
SEO.
Yes.
Our first screen.
Yes.
And Google doesn't, along with that, Google doesn't show other websites' rankings anymore, but they do have a patent where they can go out find these reviews, and based on quantity and quality of the reviews, they can use that as a ranking factor. So they actually have a pattern that people know about, so they know that you might not be seeing those reviews, but after a while I've realized that just because you can't see it doesn't mean that's not important to Google.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking about that, making sure you're getting a quality, diverse review strategy is really important. Not putting all your eggs in one basket.
It's really no different if, those of you that have been around a while and have been doing the SEO game. I mean, it is, in a sense, a lot like good link building. You never wanted all your links coming from one source, and you don't want all your reviews coming from one source. It's really, all of this is really replacing the weight that Google used to put on links from other websites. It's putting on other factors, reviews from other websites, from relevant sites that Google says, this is a good website. Instead of just saying, oh, there's a link coming from this place, it must be going to this good website. It looks at, okay, Avo, it knows is a reliable source. Yelp, it knows is a reliable source. So it knows that these websites are reliable to it, and it can trust them. And until it doesn't trust them anymore, you want to make sure that you're as diverse as possible, right, Zach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know how many people are going to these websites, so it only makes sense that a certain percentage of people are going to review businesses when they go to these websites. So when you have 50% of the people that go to Yelp are leaving you a review compared to only having one review from Avo, that looks weird to Google, and Google doesn't like it, and they won't show those reviews. They'll take them down, or they'll penalize your local rankings.
Okay.
Yep. And then here I am. It's almost like I'm contradicting, what we've just been saying. But number 8, when I'm saying don't give people too many options, and provide links to Google Plus and a few other review sites, and that's for what you're able to control. And if you give people too many options, you give them a whole list of places where they can go and review you, and it just it's very lengthy because a lot of these local sites do accept reviews. You just want to make it easy for them, and that's basically the point of number 8. Also, number 9, Zach already touched on that, is try not to solicit a bunch of reviews from clients all at once. And don't take reviews personally. This is business. So we touched on those. And here's another good point is, for a lot of industries, DUI lawyers, plastic surgeons, divorce lawyers, their clients are a little sensitive. They're not going to want to just log into their Facebook and go and say thanks for getting me out of that one. They don't want to. They would like to have some anonymity. So there are review sites out there that allow that, and you don't have to be logged in with your name and a picture or anything like that. And those are still regarded as quality reviews from Google, even if it's from an anonymous source. And we've touched on this as well, and making it easy for clients to leave feedback. You really want to have a part of your process when you're closing out a case and wishing a client good luck. You want to have a process there that you're sending out an email or you're following up with them to ask specifically for feedback. And you could even have, like Mike mentioned, a survey from SurveyMonkey, and I like that idea a lot. Another one is you could add a feedback form to your website where they could actually assign, a star rating or a number rating to the service, and if they have a low ranking, maybe send that person to another page that asks for more details on the situation specific to them, so you can kind of resolve that issue. And then if you get, and even with those clients actually, you still want to send them to a page where they can go and review you as well. Okay, so which review site should I focus on? And we've Google Plus is number one, definitely. Yelp and Avo, and also other local sites or review sites that are already bringing traffic to your website. And how do you ask for a review? It's better to ask clients to leave feedback instead of blasting out anything that says, hey, come review us, because basically that looks like you're soliciting those reviews. We want to avoid that. And
you don't want to do that. You want to, how can we be better? You know, what people love to tell people how to do things better, right? That's our whole, yeah, right. Just, and that's what your business is helping people manage their cases better. And you want to know how to do that better for the next guy. It's not about review us. Who responds to that? That's like, think about when you're at a restaurant, they're like, they hand you their thing and say, can you review us? No one does that unless it sucked.
Yeah.
Right? Like generally we don't. And so you need to don't reward them with money. It's something as simple as, how can we do better? Tell us how to do better for the next guy, kind of thing.
Definitely. And there's a lot of questions around, what happens when I have multiple office locations, and obviously since ranking or reviews do affect local rankings, you would want to have in place review sites set up for each office location, so that way you're able to get reviews specific to a location that client was at. So that's always helpful. And also, if you encourage clients to maybe check in on sites like Foursquare or Yelp or even Facebook, and given that proof that a client has physically been at your business, definitely helps. And monitoring the feedback that your clients are giving you. And you'd want to make sure that that's part of your quality assurance process as well. And again, as we've mentioned, set up Google Alerts for your business. You want to know, for your own name and other attorneys as well, you want to know when people are talking about you and what they're saying, because a lot of these things are very timely, and you want to be able to respond as quickly as possible to, you never know if your potential next big client just happens to be reviewing you that day, and you didn't get back to someone who left a pretty sour review. You'd want to be able to address that immediately. And also, it's kind of a cool thing that we're learning more about right now is these business-to-business reviews on Google+. So what you can do is you're actually logged in as your business on Google+. And if you search for popular, or you could even just search for your town and state and leave that first field blank, and you're going to have some popular businesses, organizations, attractions, even like the zoo, a theater, a sports arena, even things like that. If you're leaving reviews for those popular businesses, then it's possible that then your review could be put at the top of that list, so when people are visiting that page for that specific business, then they might see a review and then maybe go to your page as well. It's just helping to increase your visibility.
This is a great strategy that no one is doing that I know of effectively, and this is something that our own Danielle, and I'm sure that she's the one that added this to the particular part of the presentation, but a big thing that she learned when she attended the big local university here that was put on by SEO Moz about a month or so ago, about all these super duper smart local people, local marketing people, of which we are one of those super smart people. But one of the things that they do is they review other local areas. So like every law firm has a deli by it. Every law firm has, dry cleaning, banks, normal businesses.
Collision center.
Yeah, collision center. So, like, so depending upon what area of law you're in, if you need a bail bondsman or whatever, but it's really the local people that you work with anyway, your court reporting companies, maybe your videographer or whoever, but everybody has this need. And so you can help yourself from an SEO standpoint by getting other reviews out there about other people that you work with, and they'll do the same in kind. That's a great strategy that doesn't cost anything and actually benefits the community as a whole.
It benefits both of you. It's you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of a mentality, and it really does help, and it's a great way to think outside the box. And even businesses that you might just work with occasionally, whether it be that collision center, bail bondsman, those things can help, and they'll appreciate it. And I'm sure if you ask them, or they might even, without even being prompted, want to review your business back. Great opportunity.
Okay, and we'll obviously put all the, this is going to be in all the notes afterwards everybody's going to get, so you can go check it out. Okay, what's next?
Let's see. Well, now we just have some additional resources. These notes will be going out, so these are some great places to go and get some more information to get your review strategy up and running.
And one thing I would say, like all these places, that be very wary of reputation management places that say that they can fix your reputation online.
Definitely.
I think some of them have been shut down, or, like the fact is you can't change time. You can't change history. Those days are over. You might have been able to do that a few years ago, but those days are over. Information is out immediately about you, and trying to undo it is near impossible. The first thing is try not to do anything wrong, but we're all going to make mistakes. You're in a business, and you might have a paralegal, or you might have somebody working on your staff that causes the mistake. Ultimately, it's your name, and you just need to own up to it, and that's really the thing. People expect it. When you go to Amazon, I don't trust any product out there that has a perfect rating. There's no way. And usually when you see products or whatever, and you have people that have a negative reviews, you can see exactly their personality comes through in the review, and it's unwarranted anyway. So don't be afraid, as Laura said, to get them. Don't be worried about trying to get rid of them. Just address them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go crazy on somebody and say you're going to sue them and escalate it into a war. Just address it. Now, is that it with the slides, Laura?
That's it. Yeah.
Mike, we got some questions here for the team.
Yes, we do. We have quite a few. So the first one is from Robert Jeffries, who says, I went through a lot of trouble to have clients post reviews on Google+ without my asking. Where did he go? Without my asking, they used their full name, so there was no question that they were genuine, and Google's algorithm wiped them out. Any advice on how to avoid this problem?
Well, go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, if you're sending out a massive email to all the clients that you've ever had at the same time saying, hey, please leave us feedback, that's not the way to go about doing this, because when you send out that email, everyone's going to get that email at the same time, and if they're going to review your business, that is all going to flood into Google at the same time, and Google's not going to think that it's natural. It's the exact same thing that happened with my parents' business. All those people were real people and wanted to go and review the business. However, it all came in at the same time. So Google didn't think that it was natural or made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't post the majority. There's probably 20 posts, and they might have put up 2. So there's just making sure you're doing this naturally over time, so when someone comes to your business and your follow-up after you've finished up your case, sending them the Survey Monkey like Mike was saying, and giving them the opportunity to review you now as opposed to later, because you're fresh in their mind. They know how they feel. They know what they want to say, and it will spread those reviews over time as opposed to getting them all at once.
Mm-hmm. And also, you know, is having all of those reviews come in only to Google Plus, they would want to see that a more diverse review site profile. So you'd want to spread those around, and getting everyone to go to one review site is not a good idea. We definitely want to let them select where they want to review you.
And let me just say this. I'm sure that you're like many, I'm sure that so many other clients and other people that are on the phone today have had that same thing happen to them. Remember that, you know, a year ago or 2 years ago, reviews what? What is that? And then all of a sudden, you're told, we're told, everybody's told, oh, you got to post reviews. But Google's great at telling you to do stuff, but doesn't tell you the exact way that they want it.
Yep.
And so a lot of people, not just you, but a lot of people spent a lot of time and effort reaching out to clients and getting them to post reviews only to have them removed for no reason, no explanation. Part of it is just the massive changes that Google's going through, absorbing systems, integrating Google, Google Plus Local, Google Business, out of this, you know, changing, and the constant change. And we can react to what's going on today. And the bottom line is, you know, kind of how we said to do it. We realize that that's what has happened in the past. And the key here is not to go and blast, you know, like just in one day or over a series of a couple of days, a bunch of go review my website or go review me here. That's just not going to work, and that's the point. Now, I realize that that's after the fact, but that's after the fact for everybody because no one really knew that Google didn't want it that way until after the fact, right? I mean,
yeah, and Google does mess up. They, a while back, had this more critical review filtering, and then after a few months, they realized that that was too regimented, and they had cleared too many reviews that were actually natural good reviews, so they loosened the belt a little bit, and a lot of reviews showed back up. That might be something that could happen in the future, but you never know. You really just have to do what you think is best today, and Google doesn't do a great job of telling you what to do exactly, so we're trying to give you the best opportunities to keep your reviews online here and moving forward.
Based on our experience, which is, you know, there's no truer predictor of what's going to work or not based, you know, our tried and true experience working with clients. And I think that, you know, really the big point is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't focus on Google thinking that by, you know, giving all the reviews for Google that's going to help your SEO. It actually won't. The point is dividing it up under different places. And that might be unique just to you. So, for instance, somebody here in Virginia, as opposed to somebody in Atlanta, like, for instance, one of our big clients in Atlanta has a local review site that does pretty well, right? And so then out of their 3 or 4 review sites, you might have a local one that you want to have, just not be the same as everybody else, right?
Yep.
Okay, Mike, what else we got there?
Next question is from Steve Lane. Steve, good to see that you're on the webinar today.
Hey, Steve.
To the best of my knowledge, we have not ever received a complaint. In fact, in each case we handle, we send the client an exit letter, ask them for feedback on how they felt they were treated and served by the firm. In 2 years, I think I've gotten one back. What else can we do?
Well, I think that one thing that we've talked about doing is a review site, and not a review site, but a review page on your website that you can send people to that has links to go to where they can review you easily. We had an extensive conversation the other day, Steve, about your Avo profiles, but it's something just as simple as when they come in to get their, you know, sign off on their final paperwork or get their check or whatever they do with you when you do the final handshake or the preliminary to that final piece is just along with the letter that you give them, put links to the different places where they can offer you a review if they so choose. And I don't think that you really need to change much of the wording. I would have to look at it, but you don't want to be like, we'll give you a free TV or any of that kind of stuff that's frowned upon. But they're either going to tell you there that you did a great job or didn't do a good job, and if you did a great job, you can say, well, could you please just put it here for me? And maybe it's one that you want to add to your website. Ultimately, like we're saying, there's choices on where to put that review. You can take that testimonial, put it on your website, and that's where it will be. You can have them put a review on your Avo profile, and that's where it will be. You can have them put a review on on your Google reviews or wherever, Angie's List. Whatever they prefer to do, it's really a case-by-case kind of thing.
And another thing to think about is people are more inclined to leave reviews when they have really negative experiences and really positive experiences. That's why you'll see a lot more 1 stars and 5 stars as opposed to a bunch of 3s and 4s in review sites. So making sure that you're starting this whole process with how you're handling these clients, treating them like you know that they're going to be returning customers and that they will be the ones telling people about the service you provide. And that's not saying that you aren't doing that now, but making sure you're putting your best foot forward all the time will give people more of an incentive to review because they'll have that much better of an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing I'd like to add is that a review is not, hey, Steve Lane was a great lawyer. He did a good job for me. I mean, that doesn't tell anybody anything about the particulars. And what you're looking for is, why did Steve Lane do such a great job for me? What was my situation and what did he do that was that much different? You know, having a website or any review site just, oh, they're great firm, easy to work with, blah, 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 it is meaningless. And so the more about what you have done for them and how you've changed their lives, no matter what kind of area of law that you practice in. Now, I know some of this might be a little bit tougher for bankruptcy and divorce lawyers, but it's not really if people are really happy with what you've done for them and you've made a big difference for them. It's just important to put the particulars about what you have done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Google likes specifics.
What did you say?
Google likes specifics and information on specific situations. It's more authentic.
Exactly. And remember that people are doing searches for, if you've done something in particular, like if you helped out a client, their kid has shoulder dystocia or some kind of medical thing, and you talk about it specifically, that's going to help you from an organic SEO standpoint when you have reviews about there speaking about what you specifically did for them. Mm-hmm. And that will get you far and above what all the other lawyers are doing, which is, oh, he's a great lawyer. Just say I'm a great lawyer, blah, 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 the very minimum. It's more about the granular detail. It's more about the specifics of the case or the client or whatever circumstance that you can get on the review, the better.
Along with that, if you are a divorce attorney or a DUI attorney and something that's a little bit more personal and people might not want their name associated with the review that they leave, there are websites that let you do reviews anonymously. So searching for those, and when you send out your follow-up email, hey, we really hope we provided the services that you needed, and here are some websites that actually you don't need to leave your name if you feel like it's you don't want to put your name out there for our reviews, but we'd really appreciate the reviews on one of these sites that let you anonymously leave a review.
All right. What's next, Mike?
Several people actually asked this question. They say, can I take my reviews from, say, Avo and cut and paste them in the DSS for the testimonial section?
Team? Response?
No. I would say no, because you want to, it's the duplicate content issue, and Google doesn't want to see the same reviews on your website and on Avo and on Google+. They want them all to be unique and different, and you can get penalized for having those same or similar reviews out there on different sites.
And if you have good reviews on Avo, adding the badge for Avo with your rating can give you the people the ability to check you out there and check out the reviews there. Having the same information in multiple different locations is not good. It's not what Google's looking for. They want a high-quality user experience where every website on the web that you go to is giving you new, fresh information. They don't want a bunch of duplicate information all across the web for people to run into over and over again.
You got to look like a consumer. I mean, like when you are a consumer looking for the best toaster or the best TV or the best, accountant, you're looking for an estate planning attorney for your own family. If you go to an estate planning attorney's website and it's the same reviews everywhere and there's only 4 of them copied and pasted across all the different platforms, you're going to think something's up. And so you think about how you want to be portrayed to clients. We know it's harder. No one said that this is going to be an easy thing.
No pain, no gain.
Right. I mean, we have the same, challenges every business does. So it's no different, except for lawyers, it is such a referral business, and so important to remain the integrity of that referral. So to me, it's not how little can I get away with. It's, wow, I have so much opportunity out here. And so I don't want you to think like, how can I minimize my efforts? Really, this is one of the most important things that you can do to help you, and it doesn't cost anything. That's the thing. You don't have to go buy links and do all that kind of stuff. You just have to do a good job. And then make sure that you're communicating to your clients to please talk about you out there. That's all you're asking them to do, is tell people. It's no different than the old days where you give them a stack of business cards, say, tell your friends what a great job I did for you, kind of thing. And then they're going to go do that. So you got to think about it in that way. So I would spare no expense of your time and your effort making sure that your clients are talking about you. What else, Michael?
The next question is from Jessica Hamlin, who asks, how do you feel about responding versus acknowledging and burying something in the thread? I've seen both approaches used well.
Well, I don't think that, okay, certainly if you respond, it keeps that particular review elevated. However, it's a case by case. I don't think that there's just any one answer. You said yourself that you've seen them both used effectively. I know they can be used effectively too. When something is so horrible, sometimes you can get it even taken off of the review site if it's deplorable and it's just a character assassination. That's one thing. But ultimately, if you did something wrong or it's deemed wrong. I mean, like we have lots of clients whose AVO rating is not good not because they were bad lawyers, but because AVO or the bar or whatever did something and it looks bad on them. They have an opportunity to address it and show them, show the world, hey, that's not really who I am. And I think that gives you even better credibility by going out there and honestly addressing it and say, look, okay, that's what happened. But here's my side of the story. You have an opportunity to show your side of the story. And I think that can even help you even more. But I agree with you. Sometimes it's better to get it removed or let it die on its own. But I think the point is try not to do anything so horrible that people will be that aggressive online. Okay, what else you got?
Janice Thomas asks, we're conducting our annual client meeting / barbecue soon. The attendees love us. What tactic would you recommend to help some of that love show up on online reviews? Place cards with the names of review sites seems a little tacky. Your thoughts?
I would get video footage of everybody having a good time and put out a press release about how everyone loves the firm and let it happen like that. I wouldn't try to market for reviews at your barbecue. I think that's just tacky.
Yeah.
I think that if you just do if you do pictures and you've got pictures with all your happy clients and they're taking pictures with you and it's a family fun environment and you just do a press release before the event about that it's happening and what tends to happen at these things, and it's kind of a family thing. It shows that you're a family law firm. And then and then afterwards to publish the pictures and video if there's any on social media. That's what we do. I mean, we have people come in here and shoot video and meet with us all the time, and some of you that are on the call probably have done that. We don't make you like sit at a kiosk and you know, go to a review site right away, or we don't even hand you a review card on your way out. Certainly we get a testimonial from you, but I mean, you just want that to be holistic and let them know that that opportunity exists and encourage them to go there. Zach, what else would you add to that? I mean, like, what else would you suggest to this gentleman about?
I think that makes a lot of sense. One tactic you could take, if you have everyone's email from that barbecue on a monthly basis, emailing like A through F 1 month, and say, we really appreciate your you coming to our picnic. Here's some pictures. Here's the post that we have, a video of the picnic, and then at the bottom just saying if you could review your site, our business, that would be great on one of these sites, but not pushing it to everyone at once, so that it looks, so it's a little bit more organic and natural.
That's a great point. I mean, like, there's a way that you could do that systematically, where you can get pictures of everybody,
Right.
and then follow up with here's a picture with you and you know,
Your daughter.
yeah, with
By the grill.
right, whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
People want to see themselves online. It's fun for people to see themselves having a good time in pictures. That's why Facebook is so successful, because it's based a lot on pictures and videos, and if people see that they were having a good time at the picnic, they're going to want to help you out and review you. So that's just one idea.
Okay, gang, so that's all the time that we've got today. I think that we've answered all the questions that have come in. If not, we will respond to you individually. Mike, we've got the presentation coming out.
We do. We did record this webinar. We also have the slides. So per usual, we will be sending you an email with the slides and the recorded presentation for your review, so keep an eye out for that. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to let us know what we can improve on, what we did great, what we sucked at. So please let us know.
We won't send you to a review website. We just want to know what we can do better. So, and what topics that you guys are interested in knowing more about. You know, this is for you, and we're willing and able to present whatever material that you're looking for. We have this one, which is open, and then we have our DSS webinar. Is that happening Thursday, or is that not happening this week because Daniel's gone?
That's happening next Thursday.
And that's
DSS users
right.
group, which
That's
is just for FWM clients.
Yeah, and that goes into a little bit more granular detail about how to actually do stuff in DSS. But many thanks to Laura Johnson and Zach Stone.
Thanks, guys.
For a great presentation. I hope that you all found it very educational and helpful in your legal marketing efforts. We're always here for you. Shoot us any questions. If there's any clarification that you need, shoot us an email. We'll be happy to respond. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the spring.
Take care, everybody.
See you next month. Thank you.